Why to use Adobe Dimensions? Adobe Dimensions, yes, it is a 3D modeling software, but it's not totally a 3D modeling software because it's not possible to edit, for example, faces directly, to edit edges, to edit segments, to edit lines. It is not possible to do this like other 3D modeling software. The aim is, yes, you can make basic 3D modeling things, but the best aim is to use with other graphic design software. So for example, you create something on Photoshop, you have, or you create something on Illustrator, you can have a logo, you can have an illustration, you can have a photo, and you want to introduce this work with 3D modeling. So it means you want to show the logo with, for example, just a coffee cup, you want to show the logo on a book, you want to expose, for example, a cover book directly on a book mockup in 3 dimension, or you want to export an illustration on a bag, you can use Adobe Dimension, it will be the best. Everything is made to perfectly introduce any work in 3D modeling. So you have two main possibilities. You can work with basic 3D modeling, you can create shape and make a 3D scene with basic shapes, and you can really introduce any work using the different models like this. So let's make a small concrete example. The first thing that I'm going to do is to go on the left, start at assets, and I can go on models here. I have different options, and I'm going to put the side table. So I can just go one left click, and the table appears here. This table, I have the possibility on the right to scale, position, rotation, scale, size. So it means if I want to change the size on this axis, or this axis, it is totally possible. After, on this table, the thing that I would like to do also is to put something on the table. So I can come back on the left, and I'm going to select the coffee cup. I can just drag and move left click and position the coffee cup just here. At the same time, I'm going to continue. I have, for example, a book, standing book. Just go left click and position this on the table. Let's zoom. I can drag and move the book. I can drag and move the coffee cup also. And let's add a bag. Go left click and put the bag directly on the table. So it's okay. You can create some rotation with a scroll wheel. With a right click, you can also turn on your scene. And with a scroll wheel, you can drag and move like this. After to do this work, I want to add a materials. So I go directly on the right, materials. I can drag and move different materials. For example, I have here the options light oak. I can go left click and put this directly on the table. I have property for my material on the right, so I can see, for example, the side table. And if I click here, I have my materials. I can change, for example, the base color, go on color, and make something little different, like, as an example, this color, like this. After to do this work, I can work with different elements, but let's make something simple at the beginning. Just click and continue. I have plastic, different options for plastic. I can put this on the coffee cup just like this. I can put another plastic, but this time on the top of the coffee cup, because I have two elements. For my book, if I just continue, I have more options. Let's apply. You can also apply just a color, so I can click on the book, go on the right, and select materials, base color, and I can go on color and just apply any color. Let's apply something little in red, even if inside it's not really good because the pages are in red, but here for the example I'm just going to stay like this. And click on the bag, same principle, I go on the right and go on the options, bag materials, base color, and let's activate another color like this. So after to do this work, as an example, let's apply an environment. So just click on environment and you can add different light. But first, if I go on my environment scene options, I can work with the global intensity like this. I can create some rotation. If I go again on the right, you can find images and you can add background images. Let's click on this gallery, left click, like this. I can validate, and now I'm going to try to move my camera, maybe zoom little, and try to position the table, for example, like this. So I need to try to have the right perspective, even if you can also click on match image, but let's stay like this first. And I put the table here. After, if I want, I can complete with an environment light. It can be studio low light like this, and after I apply a square light like that. When you apply a light, you can see the shadows on this area, and if you go on the right, you can create some rotation of the light like this and have different render, and you can work also with the intensity, you can work with the height of your light. So this is the type of things that you can do with Adobe Dimension. After, when we enter in details, I'm going to explain that you can make basic 3D modeling. So it means if you want to create a sofa, you want to create a furniture, just using the basic shape, it is possible. And you can introduce your work. So you create a scene like this, and after we'll be able to import directly a logo on the bag, a logo on the coffee cup, or for example, a cover on the book. And you can create presentation for brand, presentation for a product using this type of example. So you can put any ID into a 3D modeling render. This is why Dimension is made. After, you can click on the render mode like this, and at the end we'll be able to go on render and select a quality. But sometimes if you select height, it can be very long, a lot of minutes. But at the end, it's better to click on height. But in the course, I will just apply low to have something faster. And you will have just to export in PNG or PSD and apply render like this. And that's it. So here I can wait little before to have, for example, the right render preview. And you can really make amazing things. It is the same for these image backgrounds. It is totally possible to import an image background.